Hi, I'm James Watt, co-founder of Brewdog, and today I'm going to be answering some of the most commonly asked questions on Google about making beer. Question 1.
How profitable is a pint?
How long is a piece of string? So, hospitality in the UK is not very profitable at all at the moment. So the business has been hammered with COVID. Costs have massively gone up. So selling pints in pubs, I would say this is the worst time to possibly have done it over the course of the last 100 years. And I think the future is definitely challenging for hospitality, and consumer habits have changed so much off the back of the pandemic. So our bars were set up to kind of people between 8 o'clock and midnight come up to the bar, they get 2 pints of Punk IPA or 2 pints of Lost Lager. That has fallen off a cliff. Now people come in, they stay longer, they get table service, they get food, which is amazing, but far less profitable than just coming up and getting pints of the bar. So sadly, not very is the answer to that question.
So as someone in the alcohol industry, you know, how did the budget land? Penny off a pint?
Oh, it's just a joke. So the budget is a very bitter pill to swallow for business, especially hospitality business. It's coming through an incredibly tough 4 years. The penny off a pint thing is a joke. Average price of a pint in London is about £6.50. Take a penny off your £6.49. With the other things the Chancellor did, the pint's at £7. So it's like such a joke. It's like, I am going to take £50 from you and I'm going to give you a penny back. It's almost comical.
Yeah.
It's quite insulting.
I think so, yeah.
Next.
Question 2.
How do you get a beer into a pub?
You
Smuggle it in.
Sneak it in your jacket pocket. How do you get a beer in a pub in the UK is so difficult that we were forced to open our own pub in Aberdeen because no pubs would stock our beer.
Wow.
And off the back of that, we've now got 128 pubs all over the planet. And the issue is for any small beer businesses, pubs in the UK are tied to the big beer businesses, either through ownership or through contracts. So getting beers in pubs are so difficult that we thought the only way to do it was to open our own pubs.
That's wild.
Sick answer.
Yeah, amazing answer.
Okay, question.
All right, why does the price of a pint keep going up?
There's just so much inflationary pressure in the sector at the moment. So costs have gone up massively since COVID. So the cost of making a beer is way, way more. It costs us 40% more to make a case of beer than it did a few years ago. Yeah. You've got wages going up. You've got energy prices going up. At the same time, you've got customers with less money to spend, which is really tough. So I don't think it's going to be long, sadly, before we see £10 pints in London. Next question.
Yeah.
What's the highest percentage beer you can legally brew?
So we are famous for having made the strongest beers on the planet. And so we started off, we made a beer called Tokyo, which was 18%, got banned by the Scottish government, even though we made a tiny amount of it. We responded by making a joke non-alcoholic beer called Nanny State, which became one of our best-selling beers. Then we made a 32% beer called Tactical Nuclear Penguin, strongest beer on the planet. When we launched it, we made it through ice distillation. So we took these kind of big plastic containers to a local ice cream factory, minus 30 degrees Celsius for a week, bang, 32% beer. A German company then made a slightly stronger beer. We thought we'd have some fun with it. So we made a 41% IPA, strongest beer that had ever been made. We bet the Germans, we called it Sink the Bismarck. Bit of controversy, bit of noise. Okay, the Germans then came back and made an even stronger beer. So we thought, okay, we want to finish this once and for all. How can we do something that combines beer and art? How can we do something that's shocking and provocative? How can we do something that challenges people's perceptions of what beer is and how it can be enjoyed? So we made a 55% beer and we packaged it in roadkill. We packaged it in taxidermy stoats and squirrels. And we called it the end of history. 55%.
Did anyone try these?
Yeah, so we sold 12 of them. Some of them have ended up in museums. But the beer was actually amazing. But you've got to get your head out of the beer space with these strong beers and drink it the same way you would an amazing whiskey, a cognac, something like that. Pour a tiny amount of it, put the cap back in the bottle and just sip away at it and contemplate life.
Can I just ask, how much of your, like how, that stuff sounds super fun. But how much does it cost to do those things? It's a complete waste of money, right?
PR.
As in, it's good PR,
Yeah.
but as in, is it a waste of literal, it's not like a part of a business plan other than PR.
We sold them at £750 each.
Right. So you made profit on them, break even, or what?
I think in those ones, maybe kind of break even-ish, but the 41% ones we sold at £40 a bottle and was able to make a few hundred of those. So I think those ones maybe just about wash their face.
So these kind of experiments cost like more in the region of 10, 20 grand than hundreds of grand?
Yes, exactly. So it's all with that. It's just about kind of extreme ice. So you just make it as cold as you possibly can. Water has a higher freezing point than alcohol. So you can take away the alcohol. You'll leave the ice behind and you're essentially concentrating the ABV.
All right, last one. Oh.
What are the most expensive ingredients that you've put in a beer?
Great question. So in most of our beers, it would be the hops. And like we're famous for using loads of hops and they give our beer so much flavor, character, and identity. And we'll use about 40 times more hops in a beer like Punk IPA than you'll find in, say, a Heineken or a Stella. But we also went to Las Vegas on a mission to make the most expensive beer in the planet. So we used a Kopi Luwak coffee, which is a famous coffee where I think they're
From Indonesia,
stoats
right?
or badgers or something, like eat the coffee and shit it out. So it's like really expensive. But we also had gold flakes in the beer as well. And then we worked with a glass blower to like custom make the bottles for the beer as well. We auctioned it off for charity at 3,000 bottles, $3,000 for the bottle. So yeah, the most expensive ingredient that we put in beer was actual gold.
Incredible.
Wow.